With the best-of-7 series tied 3-3, the Houston Astros meet the Los Angeles Dodgers in the deciding Game 7 of Major League Baseball's 2017 World Series at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday, November 1, 2017 11/1/17. Here's what you need to know what Game 7, 2017 World Series where Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles win Wednesday, November 1, 2017 time 8 p.m. Eastern TV Fox Livestream Fox Sports Go Odds Dodgers 125 starting pitchers Lance McCullers Jr. vs. Yu Darvish Game 7 of the World Series. It's a chance to make history, whether you're a star like Madison Bumgarner or a role player like Sandy Morris. The Dodgers and Astros will play Wednesday night on the biggest stage baseball has to offer, and in a one-game, winner-take-all scenario, just about anything is possible. This series has featured both home run binges and pitching duels, blown leads and surprising saves. Let go as Yankees manager last week, Joe Girardi talks about the past, present and future in a revealing interview with Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. I don't anybody here is shocked that it's going to Game 7, Houston ace Justin Verlander said after Tuesday night's 3-1 loss at Dodger Stadium. Here's a look back at Game 7 of the World Series. Through the years, the classics, these games need no introduction. One name is often enough. Bill Mazeroski, Jack Morris, Luis Gonzalez. In 1960, Mazeroski led off the bottom of the ninth inning in Game 7 with a homer that gave Pittsburgh a 10-9 win over the New York Yankees. That slugfest was a wild one, with 10 runs scored in the final 2 innings. The 1991 finale between Minnesota and Atlanta at the Metrodome was tense for different reasons. Morris pitched all 10 innings for the Twins, who finally won 1-0 on Gene Larkin's bases-loaded single. Gonzalez's RBI single in 2001 capped a 2-run, 9th inning rally by Arizona against Mariano Rivera and the Yankees. The Diamondbacks won 3-2, denying New York a 4th straight championship. Nearly a century ago, in 1924, Washington rallied from a 2-run deficit in the 8th and eventually beat the New York Giants 4-3 in 12, with Walter Johnson pitching the final 4 innings in relief. Morris made his mark as a defensive sub in 1955, running down Yogi Berra's drive in left field to halt a 6th inning rally by the Yankees. Brooklyn held on for a 2-0 victory and finally won its first crown. Cleveland hasn't won a World Series since 1948 but came agonizingly close in 1997 and 2016, losing Game 7 in extra innings both years. Edgar Renteria, his 11th inning hit, won the '97 series for Florida, and the Chicago Cubs outlasted the Indians last year, winning 8-7 and 10 to take their first title since 1908. The route sometimes, Game 7 turns into a blowout. Detroit fans threw things at Joe Medwick of the Cardinals in 1934, as St. Louis was on its way to an 11-0 win over the Tigers. In 1985, the Cardinals were on the other end of an 11-0 drubbing, and this time they were the ones venting their frustration against the Royals. A missed call had gone Kansas City's way near the end of Game 6, and Street. Louis fell apart in Game 7. Manager Whitey Herzog and pitcher Joaquin Andujar were ejected. Overshadowed sometimes, the finale feels anticlimactic compared to what happened in Game 6. The 1975 World Series is remembered for Carlton Fisk's game-winning homer for Boston that forced Game 7, even though that last game was pretty special in its own right. Cincinnati beat the Red Sox 4-3 in Game 7, with Joe Morgan driving in the winning run in the top of the 9th. After winning Game 6 on Bill Buckner's error in 1986, the New York Mets made the most of their reprieve, rallying from a 3-0 deficit to beat Boston 8-5 in Game 7. In 2011, the Cardinals were down to their last strike in the 9th and 10th innings of Game 6. But they won that one, and Game 7, a 6-2 St. Louis victory, wasn't nearly as memorable. The standouts: only one player has homered twice in Game 7 of the World Series. That was Berra in 1956, when the Yankees beat Brooklyn 9-0. 4 players have had 4 hits: Max Carey 1925, Ripper Collins 1934, Willie Stargell 1979 and George Brett 1985. Their teams all won. The most strikeouts for a pitcher in Game 7 is 10, by Hal Newhouser 1945, Sandy Koufax 1965, Bob Gibson 1967 and Roger Clemens 2001. Koufax's gem, a 2-0 shutout of Minnesota, was the last time the Dodgers played in Game 7. Only two pitchers have thrown shutouts in Game 7 since then, Brett Saberhagen in '85 and Morris in '91. The Associated Press contributed to this report.